So again, in John 20 verse 1, the record says, this is Yochanan writing, okay? The first day of the week, and that word there is italicized, meaning it really wasn't issue there. Okay, the first of the week cometh Miriam Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taken away from the sepulchre. You see, it was still dark when they came. This was sundown Saturday night. Yahshua, and when they came, it doesn't mean Yahshua rose from the dead. Remember, when they came in. Let's look and see what happened when they came there. Look at verse 2. Then she runneth and cometh to Shimon Kepha and to the other disciples whom Yahshua loved, and said to them, they have taken away the master out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they laid him. Kepha, or Peter, therefore went forth, and that other disciple, and came to the sepulchre. So they ran both together, and the other disciple did outrun Kepha, and came first to the sepulchre. And he stood down, and looking in, saw the linen clothes lying, yet he went not in. Then cometh Shimon Kepha, following him, and went into the sepulchre, and see the linen clothes lie, and the napkin that was laid about his head, not lying with the linen clothes, but wrapped together in a place by itself. Then went in also that other disciple, which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed. And as yet they knew not the scripture, that he must rise again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again into their own home. And Miriam stood without at the sepulchre weeping, and as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre, and seeth two Malachim angels in white, sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Yahshua lay. And they said to her, Woman, why are you weeping? She said to them, because they have taken away my master, and I know not where they have laid him. And when she had thus said, she turned herself back and saw Yahshua standing, and knew not it was Yahshua. Yahshua said to her, Woman, why weep you? Who do you seek? She supposed him to be the gardener, said to him, Sir, if you have borne him or carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away. Yahshua said to her, Miriam. She turned herself and said to him, Rabboni. That means my master, my teacher, which is to say, see, teacher, but my teacher. Yahshua said to her, Touch me not, I have not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say to them, I ascend unto my Father and unto your Father, and to my Elohim and your Elohim. Miriam Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Master, and that he had spoken these things unto her. Then the same day at evening, being the first of the week, it's the first of the week at evening, okay? The door was shut. There the disciples were assembled for fear of the Judean. Came Yahshua and stood in the midst of them, and said to them, Peace be unto you. Notice, it's the first of the week at evening. Remember now, sundown Saturday is considered evening. Like right now, we are recording. This is the end of the Shabbat. Guess what? It's dark outside. You know what it is? It's the first day of the week. It's not even, according to the Gentiles. Gentiles say, the morning begins at midnight. That's when it's going to be Sunday. But Yahshua had already risen from the dead. Remember, Miriam and them went to the tomb and saw the tomb was empty. So Messiah did not rise early Sunday morning.
Just before the break of day.
Just before the break of day. No, he rose again on the Shabbat. And when the women came, after, during the time of Shabbat, and when the women came to the tomb after the Shabbat, the tomb was empty.
And so you notice what he said to her.
What he said?
He said, what was he ascending to his father for?
What did he send his father for?
He said, don't touch me yet.
To take the first fruit offering.
There you go.
The way the first fruit offering,
fruit.
the dead, remember the dead? Those who rose again from the dead, after Messiah rose from the grave. Remember he died, the graves were open, and many which slept arose after Messiah rose from the dead. He's fulfilling the feast of first fruits. He's bringing a wave offering before Yahweh. He's presenting him the first fruits of them that slept from the dead.
Fulfilling it to the T.
To the very day.
Now, so about 50 days from Pesach.
Yes.
He told, from 50 days, 50
days from that Shabbat, the first fruits.
Right. He tells a few days before Pentecost, or Shabbat, he tells his Talmudim to be at Jerusalem. Yep. Now, he had been resurrected again. If during his resurrection everything was done away with, he would not tell them to attend the feast. And again, remember, it's not just for the Hebrews.
No.
It said even the strangers too. So don't say, yeah, well, that was just a Hebrew thing. No, it was not. And so on the T, when it said they were all together, people say they were in the upper room. No.
They couldn't all fit in the upper room. They were in the temple.
We'll just go there.
Acts chapter 2. And when the day of Shavuot was come, fully come, that means the day, this is the time, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. The house is talking about the house of Yahweh. Not the house, not the upper room. This was the temple. The temple is also called the house of Yahweh. Remember he said, my house should be called the house of prayer for all nations. What house is that he's talking about? He's talking about the temple in Jerusalem. They were all there. Remember, it was appointed 3 times a year that all the males appear before Yahweh in Jerusalem at the house. Then here they were there waiting, and all of a sudden what happened?
The Ruach fell.
The Ruach fell.
The Spirit fell.
Did you know that during the Pentecost, the first Pentecost Shavuot was at Mount Sinai when they received the Torah instructions? The law was written on tables of stone. Our forefathers broke those commandments.
Right.
Moshe went back up to Yah and brought the commandments down.
The same exact ones after he broke them.
But before he went up, guess what happened?
What?
Yah, the Levites killed about 3,000 people were slaughtered.
Right.
For violating and building the golden calf.
That's right.
We see here on their Shavuot that the Torah now is written again in their hearts. On the very same day. Shavuot. Now the law is given again. This time, see, that's why it's called the New Testament, or it's really the renewed covenant.
Same thing.
The same covenant.
Like renewing vows.
Renewing vows. When Moshe went up to Mount Sinai to get the covenant again, he didn't get 10 new commandments. He got the same ones written on stone again.
And this time, those made it into the ark of the covenant, unbroken. And so that's the picture of this renewed covenant. That law is going to make it in our hearts.
Inside.
Now
the Torah will be in us. Just like you took the ark and took the instructions, the commandments, and put it inside the ark, and then put it in the temple. So Yahweh took his Torah, put it in our hearts, inside of this temple we dwell in.
Right.
Okay.
And so you were speaking on how 3,000 was killed.
Yeah, and so now check this out. You go into Acts chapter 2, the Torah was given, and look what happens in Acts 41. Okay? Acts 2:41. I'm going to 239. It says, for the promises to you and to your children, all them that are far off, even as many as Yah Elohim shall call, and with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, save yourselves from this untold toward generation. Then they that gladly received his word were mikvah. The ones that gladly received his word were mikvah. And the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls.
Oh, look at that picture.
Being fulfilled.
All over again.
All over again. And they continued steadfast in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread and in prayer. So we see Yahweh fulfilling his word in the spring feast to the very moment.
In the spring feast.
Yahshua.
Now, we'll talk about the false feast. and how they